All right, hello. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging and Friends. Chuck has officially put the proper combination of emotes in the chat, which means we are allowed to start. But yeah, Adam, thank you for that sub. 17 months.
You're welcome.
I still don't understand that why it's only a 14-month streak. Like, what happened 14 months ago that caused you to, decide, okay, maybe I will re-up. Maybe there was a couple. Maybe we should really look back on the.
I switched from doing the Amazon Prime thing to actually using like the real thing.
Australis, I definitely want to do Alien again. I do think Alien will be coming back. Chuck, I know, actually I shouldn't spoil it. That's up to Chuck to say.
Oh, I don't care. Yeah, here soon we're going to wrap our Thunder Rift game and we're going to kick over to some Alien.
Yeah, hell yeah. In between getting to play Alien in this like one shot I was in a couple weeks ago with some different folks across the world, and getting to play in Chuck's, it's just a matter of time at this point. Like, I already want to play Alien now, just after like the one shot of it again. So we'll be back. I just figuring out when. We do need to finish Deadlands. I do want to finish Deadlands. We are, I think, more than halfway through at this point, and I have noticed that like the second act is moving a lot quicker than the first act, a lot quicker, in fact. And I do think that by the end of the year, my hope is that we'll be done with Deadlands and moving to something else. I don't know which group is going to get the Alien treatment or not yet, whether it's going to be this group or whether it's going to be a different group. But we're going to get back to Alien, so looking forward to that. But tonight we're doing Deadlands, continuing Blood Drive. We're down on Matt again, sadly, as our Canadian hero is still off delivering justice to the boys and girls around the Weird West, and so the rest of us will continue without him. And let's do some quick intros, we'll do a summary, and then we'll kind of get going. We'll see how far we get. So Jeremy, tell us about your character.
I'm Dr. Byron Cuspid. I am a practitioner of the new science, as some would call it, but largely I just like to think of myself as a dentist and a friendly hand about camp to make sure everybody's healthy and whole. And, on occasion, I do mete out a fair share of vengeance, but I try to be moderate. All things in moderation, including moderation, they say.
Anna is neither healthy nor whole. Just saying. You get some work to do.
So close to killing. So close.
Very close.
Get right to it.
Yeah, that was one of those situations where Melissa, we're like, man, you were really helped out by that being a dramatic task as opposed to regular combat. Like, that was regular combat. That could have gotten real ugly real fast, but we did it dramatically, and it was fun. And I still almost got you, though. It was very exciting. All right. Then, let's see. I said Jack Dawes as I hear, but we'll go down to Eustace. Adam, tell us about Eustace.
Yep, name's Eustace. What else you want to know?
No, that's good. Next up, we got John Ives. Chuck, tell us about Ives.
Hey there, I'm John Ives, and I am a gunslinger of the group and connoisseur of fine dining and meat preparation. My favorite being long pig.
Very nice. And I feel like there was a long pig reference the other day. I remember seeing that in the Discord somewhere. Where did I see that?
We were planning out our potluck we're doing here in a couple of weeks.
Right.
I kept telling Dan he needed to make long pig, but he refuses to cook people for us.
Yeah. That is just not a team player right there. He's just kind of being pretty selfishly. So
yeah.
I think you gotta cut him loose at that point.
Oh, I'll give him the bad news.
Just he'll notice in a couple days. Drop him the note in Discord. He'll check in.
Oh no.
All right, and then finally, Melissa, tell us about Anna.
Yeah. So as I interrupted Dr. Cuspid's introduction to remind everyone that Anna got hurt last time, the automaton has a pincher that works quite well and leaves lots of wounds and injuries. So Anna is in need of some healing, so she can get back to her roping and riding and bringing Devil Eyes along for all of the shenanigans.
Right on. All right. So let's get going then. So last time, last two sessions, I should say, have been kind of a particular arc. You all have been moving northward out of Denver, kind of heading up towards Wyoming, and for a stretch, you were getting kind of near to some headquarters for the Wasatch Railroad, the one that's sort of funded by Hellstrom, and you started to get harassed by one of the members of that organization, a guy by the name of Emmerich. This sort of slight German accent, kind of had an attitude about him, who was under the impression that you all had something, and it all stemmed back towards back when you were near New Mexico, and you kind of you were by Roswell, and there was that crashed Rocketeer and the plans, and that kind of came back. And no matter what you said, even though you were pretty, I think you were just straight up honest with him. You kind of gave him the plans and said he just didn't believe you, or didn't want to believe you, that you guys didn't really have anything and weren't really doing anything with it. And so he just sort of picked a fight. And so over the course of a couple days, as you were going through this stretch of land, he just various incidents occurred that likely seemed to come from him. So there was that group of mechanical spiders that attacked the herd, killed a few steers, caused a bit of a stampede when the kind of gunfire and violence started kicking up. You also had a prairie fire that seemed more than a little suspicious, that just seemed to be kind of burning right in the direction of where the herd was, but you all managed to work together. Some of your new recruits helped out. Cuspid figured out some way to kind of redirect the burn path. You guys decided after a certain point in talking with Sutter that you were going to go on the offense, enough of this defensive stuff, and you decided to go try to track him down. And you followed these tracks. You found Emmerich, who basically had kind of set up a trap for you guys, luring you out and away from your herd. And there was like this group of X Squad troopers who are wearing those kind of rocket packs. There was the steam wagon with the Gatling gun. There was a Hellstrom automaton that just suddenly descended on the group out of nowhere. It was an intense fight. Now, Anna, you nearly died from that automaton, but you managed to survive. You got Eustace, I think, was harassing the X Squatters, those jetpack guys, with some of the allies. Used one of them as a missile to attack the steam wagon.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then Cuspid and Eyes, I think they're just sort of staring at or facing down Emmerich and the Gatling gun and stuff. I think Eyes was directing some of the other cowboys with you. And then Cuspid, you were just kind of casting right on top of it, going right for Emmerich. Eventually, Emmerich fell, didn't die, he fell, lost some limbs in the process. The automaton exploded after being destroyed, nearly taking Anna with it. And I would say roughly about half the X Squad troops were sort of defeated, and others fled and everything like that. But eventually, you won the day against Wasatch, against Emmerich, and yeah, we'll pick up, and we'll say we'll do as a way of kind of starting up. Let's treat this like a little interlude as we end this sort of chapter, and you can tell me anywhere between the end of this fight and just sort of the next couple of days on the trail, like what is the group, what are you doing specifically as we try to like transition now to kind of a different arc of the story, if that sounds all right with y'all.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, so I will do the okay. We don't have a Dawson, so I'll put the rest of you in the old initiative track and deal some cards, and we'll do our interludes. Okay. So Ives, you get a Joker, so you can basically do whatever the hell you want.
Nice.
So to remind you all, I'll show you again. Interludes are kind of like a downtime-ish, and you kind of explain either something you were doing during downtime, something like a backstory bit from your character's past, or something during the trek. And you can weave in anything from like the issues here with Hellstrom and Wasatch and this like after effect, and like just moving on as well. So it's whatever you all want to do. Diamonds for Cuspid and Anna, you all, and then it looks like Ellsworth, you're doing spades. So, does anyone have an idea on, and we can go in whatever order, I don't care, on what they might be doing, again, either between the end of this fight and a couple days later as we push along the trail.
I think I've got an idea. So on diamonds for Trek, there's an option like you find something that helps you along the way, including friendly locals.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, as tempting as it would be to torture Dr. Emmerich for a while for my own personal pleasure, that once my blood has settled a bit, I realize that's maybe a bit too much even for myself. But, it occurs to me, Dr. Emmerich, that the best thing to do is deliver you to justice. Now, did you know the Empire Rails is nearby? If there's anything that they're known for, it's their honorable headsman, Mr. Chamberlain, the hero of Gettysburg, I hear. Now, I think just the most delightful things will happen to you when I deliver you to Empire Rail, and they will be so grateful to have you in custody, to make you see trial for your crimes. And so that's what Dr. Cuspid will do, is deliver this horrible bastard over to Empire Rail.
I think there'll be more than one plea for you to kill him. And he'll try to bait you into it with various insults about your intellect and the shoddy nature of your weird science. Just trying to get you to the point where you're angry enough to just maybe lash out and kill him before delivery.
Well, you know what? I'm going to compromise with you, Dr. Emmerich. I will deliver you alive. But I think I'm going to give you some new dentures. I will pull out all of his teeth and give him some replacement teeth.
Okay. So we'll say at various times throughout the next day or two, as you're kind of the herd is weaving its way closer. Maybe Cuspid sets up his tent at night a little further away from everyone than normal so as not to hear the screams. Clearly, little Timmy is probably nearby, naturally, but nonetheless, you rip out some of the teeth, collect them, put them in your personal collection. What kind of teeth do you replace them with? Is there a particular kind, substance, anything like that?
You know what? I do recall at one point saying mandibles are the poor man's teeth, so I'm going to replace his teeth with little mandibles. I'm going to try and grind them down and shape them to where they're roughly tooth-like, but just something horrifically unnatural and uncomfortable.
And so when you do come across this outpost for Empire Rail, you're riding up. Maybe a few of you join them, obviously, for this, and you can see a few deputies come out, sort of deputized for the rail. They come out and they kind of examine this fella, and they see the face, and they're like, "Well, that's you're giving this up for free to us here?"
Well, yes, of course. We just want to pass along, and we've heard of your reputation, and sometimes one good turn deserves another, so thank you for your service. And I really believe this man will get what he deserves in your custody, and that's really all that I want.
Well, judging from that downright hideous smile, I believe he's already gotten, about probably half of what he deserves. This cruel son of a bitch has got a reputation for all sorts of chicanery and nefarious experiments and some of the local wildlife, and some of his boys with them jetpacks have been harassing a few of our own and stuff, so, yeah, we damn well will accept this with gratitude, and there is a modest bounty on Mr. Emmerich here that we are be glad to pay off for you, the tune of $125, if that's suitable to you, sir.
Well, that's quite kind, but you know what I would like for you gentlemen to do? Go out and buy yourselves some fine dinner and some fine drinks. I really don't want any money from you.
Well, this has been an absolute interesting afternoon. You give us one gift, and well, I guess you just gave us a second. We will indeed. We'll drink to your good health, sir. And what is your name again? Who should we be toasting?
Oh, my name is Dr. Byron Cuspid, and I may be from Georgia, but I still respect your honor.
Well, I definitely appreciate your time, sir, your kindness, and if you are the one responsible for such a beautiful visage we have in front of us, well, your sense of humor, while a bit dark, is not unwelcome in these parts. Ain't that right, Emmerich?
I respond poorly to attempted murder. I apologize, but it seemed appropriate.
Yeah, I'd hate to see how you respond to, well, not just attempted murder, but successful. And there's been more than one situation that Mr. Emmerich here is going to need to account for. I can tell you that.
Oh, I'm quite sure. Also, a good deal of his rocket packs and one of his automaton are also destroyed. And there's not much of anything that we could deliver over to you. They do explode upon
of
destruction.
Course, that is such the nature of Hellstrom gadgetry. Well, you've done a good deed for these parts, and for my employ as well. We thank you, bid you well. Have a good ride back, and we will toast the name of Dr. Byron Cuspid this evening.
Be well, gentlemen.
Tips of that. And then you hear them kind of cackling. All right, boy, you're going with us. And you just hear him like, kill me. Because his teeth aren't working anymore, so his German accent just becomes that terrible.
No.
Oh, goodness. All right, who would like to go next with your little... That was great, Jeremy. Who would like to go next? Who's got an idea?
So I've got an idea. So one of the diamond options is downtime, studying or working on an object of some sort.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's possible with like trying to lariat the automaton and whatnot that there could have been some damage that happened to the lariat.
Yeah, especially with the explosion. Yeah.
Anna's going to be obviously needing to kind of rest for a bit. So I'm guessing that her activity would be a bit more, kind of bedridden and whatnot. So she is going to kind of invite Francesca or anybody else that wanted to come over. Basically, she's going to kind of like show them how to make a rope and make a lariat.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and she'll, kind of while she's doing that, kind of going to tell a story of how, like, when she grew up, that it was her aunt who would, like, kind of taught her how to, like, weave a rope, and then how to use the rope. And so, kind of the whole time that she's, kind of on bed rest, she's going to be kind of weaving some rope together and making a new lariat and, kind of helping folks learn and kind of improve their lariat skills.
Well, you picked an excellent NPC to come with you, as Francesca will inform you that, well, my whole family is, we have a reputation from back east as being consummate rope makers of some renown. And while it was not the focal point of my adult education, I have certainly osmoted a significant amount of knowledge in rope making, and I would be glad to assist you, Miss Anna. And I might say, we have heard tales of your exploits here, and if you've learned anything, perhaps charging an automaton might not be the wisest of decisions, but it is sure as hell a fun story to tell, especially since you have survived that charge.
There are things that I have seen on this drive that I would not have anticipated seeing before I left home, but I understand everybody has a job to do, and my crew seems to be having the job of going out and seeking the danger before it comes back to the rest of the drive. And I don't necessarily take a liking to that particular job, but this is what we need to do.
Well, it's not just that, but it's just nice to hear that some of the stories are from your deeds, as opposed to if I have to hear another story about Scarlet Justice doing X, Y, or Z, I might just lose pardon my French, I might just lose my shit. And I'm not one for violence, but Scarlet Justice this, and Scarlet Justice that, and he's a fine man, don't get me wrong, it's just, but the rest of us, we see it's y'all who are doing good deeds as well, and it doesn't seem that all of you are getting the credit you deserve, and I think it's time we suss out some sort of special nicknames for the rest of y'all, some kind of pseudonyms of some kind of heroic quality, So maybe ponder on that a bit while you're taking recuperation.
You know, I could put some thought to that, but what I have also noticed while we have been on this drive is that you know, like where I come from, I mean, my family knew who I was, and you know, everybody kind of knew everybody else, and you know that was all fine and good. But I'm finding that the farther we travel, when people know our names, then they seem to want to come after us, and then when they do, they know who we are. So I actually feel like, I mean, sure, we can come up with something fun for, you know, around here and all, but I don't know that I want to be like Scarlet Justice, where, you know, his reputation precedes him and everyone knows who he is when he walks in. I kind of like walking in through a door and people don't know who I am and don't have any expectations.
Well, anonymity, I suppose, has something to it. Maybe that's what we'll call you, Anonymity Anna, something like that.
Well, you see, you know much fancier words than I do. So if that sounds like that works for you, then I think I might just take that.
I think that I will spread that word. Now you get some rest, Miss Anna.
Thank you, Francesca.
All right. Who's next?
I can go. Sure.
All right,
yeah.
Chuck, let's do it.
So I get to pick anything.
Anything.
So I want to pick the second hearts from the list.
Okay.
I want to do Trek.
Okay.
I want to kill an NPC. Not like Ives, but an NPC dies. So here's what I'm thinking. Who's the guy with the teeth?
The sparkling white teeth. That is Dakotas Pitts. My notes
Dakotas.
Earnest idiot, beefy golden brown skin, and sparkling white teeth. Those are my notes.
Yeah, because I was teaching him how to shoot.
Yeah.
So we got word that there was some wolves or coyotes or something like that on the edge of the herd harassing.
There always are. Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll take care of this. It's not a problem. So I bring him out with me. Come on, boy. You're going to learn how to shoot good.
I've been practicing, Mr. Ives. I'm quite keen to give it another try.
Well, it's time to put it to the test. So he and I go out, and he does a great job. Like, we find him, we track him down, we slaughter the entire lot of them. But it's as we're walking back, like we took the pelts, we took the teeth, and as he's getting ready to hop up on his horse, right in the back of the calf, rattlesnake.
Okay.
I try and rush him.
Yeah, he's carrying. He's like, you think Dr. Cuspid, he's going to be quite happy with the teeth we got.
He's going to be thrilled about this. Yeah. He's running low on supplies, so this will put him in a good spot.
No, wonderful. We're going to need tons of pelts as we get further up north. It's quite cold up there. I can't wait to see that Wyoming country I heard so much about.
It's going to be good looking. I've traveled through there once before I found my way with the drive, and it was pretty good. Yeah, I liked it. A little chilly, but not bad.
Yeah. Well, you know, it ain't going to be chilly once we get these all set and ready.
It's going to be nice. We can get them tanned up, scraped down. It's going to make some good coats, pants. It's going to be good.
And he's all just talking about how, like, I think this is what I think Wyoming looks like. I can't wait to see it. I'm so excited. He starts to climb up onto his horse, and that's right when, out of the high grass, not even seen, because he was talking so much you couldn't hear the rattle.
Yeah.
Gets him in the back of the leg.
Right in the back. So, yeah, I ain't nothing I can do about it. We're too far away from Dr. Cuspid. So I throw him up on my horse. We ride hard. But by the time we get there, he's gone.
And so you drop him off. His leg is black and kind of...
Yeah.
It almost looks like the calf has exploded into like a giant eggplant at this point. And he was talking some of the way there, too. You heard his voice every now and then, like you're talking about, can't wait to see Wyoming and here and there. Telling me stories about his family and stuff. Like, yeah.
Quiet, boy. Keep your strength. We'll get you back to the Cuspid. He'll take care of you.
Oh, I know he will. He's a brilliant man. And he just does some wonderful things with teeth. Yes, he does. And butterflies. He's got
Ain't no
trails
butterflies. Yeah.
off. Yeah, there are plenty of butterflies. Butterflies all over. Can't you see them?
I see them. They look nice. Every color of the rainbow there.
Yeah. And he just kind of
Why don't you
trails
work on 'em?
off.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of crisscrossing in his mind. These different memories. Mama, is that you?
Yeah, it is a very painful ride back, emotionally and physically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get him back. He's long dead. And I think Ives would be worried. Are they going to say I did this to him? They think I killed him. Making sure everyone, Rattlesnake, tell everyone about it. Show off his leg to the point that it's almost uncomfortable for everyone. Look at it. Look, I didn't do this. He was doing good. Blood's wolf blood, not his, not mine.
And you can see most people who have been with the ride this whole time.
Yeah.
They're like, no, Mr. Eyes, we understand. Like, no, nothing to be worried about. Francesca's like, no, yeah, it's fine. Abby kind of looks at you a little sideways a bit. 'Cause she's always been a little sus of you because she saw you doing some stuff way back when in Sutter's Flats, right? So she kind of looks at you a little sus, a little sideways here and there. Some of the new folks are just kind of skeptical, like how does a man don't die from a rattlesnake that easily, man? He takes a little longer, and some people are kind of thrown out at him. It doesn't seem quite right. Something seems wrong here, and a little bit of a rumor. And as like everyone's kind of saying words and such, you see there's little Timmy just like hiding behind 2 or 3 people. You just see that little contours. He's getting a little taller, kind of a little bit of a growth spurt over the last couple of months. Not saying anything. He's kept really quiet lately, but you just see him kind of eyeing down everything that just happened, and kind of exchanges a very quiet glance at you. Doesn't smile, doesn't frown, just emotionless, and then turns around and walks away.
I'm gonna have to go have words with that boy later. Straighten him out. You don't hurt friends.
All right. So, Adam, you got something?
Yeah, so Eustace is wandering around looking for people to help, or Cuspid went off, and Anna went off, and Ives went off, and he, walks up to one group here, and he's like, "Hey, y'all need some help with something?" And then they tell him no. He's like, "All right, well, you know where to find me." And he goes to the next group of people and tries to make small talk, and they just kind of awkwardly respond and like stand there in awkward silence. And then he goes on. There's like a whole series of the camera showing this happen several times, and then he's standing there in the middle of the camp looking all around and seeing everybody going on about their business, and he just kind of looks down, kicks at the ground, and then wanders off. Finds himself a nice place to view for a little bit, and he starts drinking. And then there's a montage of him drinking, laughing, then drinking, and getting angry about something, and then drinking, and it finally pans in, and it shows him crying, just screaming, "Ellen! God damn it, Ellen!" "Oh shit, Cecilia, I'm sorry. I didn't save her." And then he looks down at the drink, and the bottle's half full, and looks at it again, and he just tosses it, and the bottle shatters, and he gets up and walks off.
You're walking back, back to the herd and everything. You can see off to the side the Reverend Archer's wagon. Oh, ye of all the gin. Not sure if he was in earshot or not, but he's there, kind of like staring off at the plains. The kids aren't around. He's been kind of taken to their education a bit, even though he doesn't seem to be happy about it. And you see him just sort of drinking as you walk past, and kind of holds up a bottle, like, if you'd like taking a sip there, Mr. Ellsworth.
I've had enough.
You sure it'd be a darn shame for me to finish this whole bottle by myself. This is one of the finer batches I got here, too. One of the few that haven't yet been infected with some manner of dirt and, I don't know, whatever the hell they put in these things to dirty it up a bit, that is.
I done taste too many alcohols twice. I'm afraid if I take me another drink of that, I'm going to taste it twice, too.
Well, tasting it twice is, honestly, sometimes a little better. Tasting it just once, but...
Tell you what, if you make me do that, the second time will be all over you. It isn't doing you a favor.
Well, all right, I won't push it then, but you ever need a drinking partner? Oh, goodness. He kind of comes over and he kind of does the whole pat you on the back. That's all right, son. That's all right. You let it on out. There you go.
All
just
over
making room
then,
for the next batch.
Yep, there's splash on his boots.
Mm-hmm. You know your way back? You can get back okay?
No. If I don't, doesn't matter.
No, it matters, man. Of course it matters, son. You're an essential component of this here drive.
Oh, trust me, Anna wouldn't let me go off on my own. She'll find me. I could try and get lost, and she'll find me.
Yeah, I believe you there. That's quite certain.
Been trying for years, but she keeps finding me, bringing me on back.
That's good, man. You got a lot to offer this world here. We don't want you wandering off, you know? You wander off, you're liable not to come back, and that's, well, I imagine that's not necessarily something anyone here would want.
I ain't long for this world. I just have other people keep on keeping my ticket from being punched.
Well, I don't know why you're saying
is
such
that a
dark
euphemism
things today.
Is that a euphemism that applies in this day and age, or is that later?
Well, I reckon I am not the one to assess the veracity of such a euphemism, but I'm sure that you do a lot more for you seem to be having a dark day. Let me just tell you something, Mr. Ellsworth. You all helped me out when I needed it. My wagon got tipped on over. Them plants were gonna eat me for something fierce, and if it wasn't for you and your friends, and well, I'd probably already get my ticket punched. So I'm certainly glad you haven't gotten yourself all lost out in the world. Because if you did, well, I imagine I wouldn't be here. And if I wasn't here, then there wasn't anybody to make sure them boys get their education. And you see, it's just sort of a chain reaction. You never know quite how many lives you influence there, sir. For the better.
Yeah, how about them ones that are for worse? Because I know that some of them are worse for wear.
Well, a lot of them deserve it, from what I hear.
Huh. Not all.
Well, that might be. And when all's said and done, yeah, I'm sure you're going to have to account for it. And all the good and all the bad, well, it'll be in the ledger.
Yeah.
We'll see how it all balances out. And then determine which way you go.
Well,
go on up, you go on down.
Well, I'll rely on you to be out there taking it easy for all us sinners.
Well, I think you should just realize you got plenty of time left, plenty of good deeds left in you to do. And if you think for some reason you're behind in the books, well, plenty of time for you to go catching up right now. And I think you've had a good run of it lately, from what I hear.
What'd you hear?
Oh, I hear you done good things. I hear you've been helping out this herd, something fierce. They wouldn't have made it this far, wasn't for you. I heard just recently you were fighting some big old contraption with a Gatling gun on top of it and such, and flying through the air and doing all sorts of things.
I wasn't fighting no contraption with a Gatling gun. I was fighting men who jumped too high in the air. I had to bring them down. I think
you're selling yourself short from what I heard. Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, you can call me short, just don't call me late for dinner.
And on that note, sir, I think maybe we ought to go ahead and get you back and get you some dinner. That might kind of set you right. How about that?
Yeah.
All right. Now come on in the wagon. I'll ride you back. So he does. Brings you up. Kind of brings you back to the wagon. It brings you back to the center of the herd there, or center of the drive. You kind of rejoin everybody else. All right. Y'all can take an extra Benny if you want. Go up to 4. I'm fine.
Actually, since I got that Joker, we're already at 4.
Oh, look at that. Never mind. No, just kidding. I don't mind. All right. So we'll say then the next couple of days pass by after Cuspid delivers the package to Empire Rail. Next couple of days actually go by quite nice. You even see a couple Empire Rail deputies kind of come by, give you a tip of the cap, kind of let you know about various dangers on the path ahead, and there's definitely not a whole lot to worry about. You don't really hear anything from Wasatch anymore. Doesn't seem like they send anybody else out to take care of you. Maybe Emmerich was just sort of working on his own. You're not really sure, but the next couple of days are pretty uneventful and actually kind of peaceful for the first time in a while. And then Bill one morning kind of pulls you all together. Basically, you all at first, and eventually you see him kind of after he talks to you. He kind of goes and debriefs some of the others. But he pulls you all up and he says, "All right, fellas, madam, we passed by a few troubles. That Wasatch mess could have gone a lot worse. And actually, that's not his voice. We passed by all that trouble with Wasatch, and I kind of thank you. I figure I owe it to you to kind of tell you what the next stretch is going to be for us and what troubles we might be facing. I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with this country up here, but we are about to skedaddle across the corner of the Sioux Nations. And my aim to get us into Wind River Canyon before the Sioux even know we're here. Now,
it's going to be a hard task to do.
Yeah, it is. My hope is that we can do it quickly and quietly and not necessarily alert them to nothing. Now, I need y'all to keep an eye on everybody. This is their land. We ain't really supposed to be going onto it. We're ones encroaching, so if any of them kind of pop off and such, well, make sure everyone knows we ain't want no violence. Any sort of violence that we come upon, there are consequences that could spill out to all the various folks in the area around here. I don't want to start nothing. So just keep your eyes peeled. Let's move it fast. Make sure everyone's doing their job.
I can handle that.
So he goes and he kind of gives that same sort of speech to a couple different groups here and there, but specifically he's kind of telling you all to keep an eye on everybody. Keep an eye on everybody. So go ahead and we'll say the 4 of you, go ahead and roll notice tests as you kind of continue your trek northward a bit.
All right.
That's a fail.
Uh-oh. You do have Benny.
What test again?
Notice.
Notice. Just straight up. Notice.
Yeah, I'll spend one of those bennies since we have so many of them.
I got a 13.
Okay. Oh, man.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, I got an explosion on one of them.
You're supposed to roll D100s for that, right? You know.
Pass with a 5 after spending the benny.
Nope. Okay. Anybody else pass or get a raise?
Nope.
All right. So Ives, Anna,
Mm-hmm.
2 of you kind of you're keeping your eyes peeled, and both of you notice that it's not like within 2 days of just having that little speech crossing over into the Sioux Nations, well, lo and behold, some roving Sioux patrols start showing up here and there, and you got to expect that your herd is enormous at this point. It's very difficult to kind of go unknown or unseen. Ives, with your raise, you definitely notice that there's a few of the new recruits who are riding wide and such, or kind of riding in the back, and they're kind of sweeping out a little bit closer. You see more than one of them kind of take out a gun here and there, and kind of, they're not firing at the Sioux, but they're kind of just firing like up in the air, like they're trying to scare him and things like that. You can hear this happening like in the rear.
I'd call everyone here and be like, we got to go to the back. People kicking up dirt, not the good kind.
People can't follow instructions. They don't understand how we made it here this far because we listened to what we were told to do.
Yeah, I'm going to go back there and put fear in them. So
you head back there, Ives, and you notice that two of the ones that seem to be the ones that were doing it were, looks like Leodora. She's the one that has that kind of Bowie knife that she carries all the time. Then there's that Blue Jay guy. He's also the very attractive one, and I think he's the one who actually had some medical school training. And the two of them, you can tell, are kind of getting a little nervous, as when you get to the back of the herd, it's not just on the flank where you're starting to see these kind of roving groups, like 5, 6 or so here or there, off in the distance. You can see them, but they're not really getting too close. But then you look behind you, and you can see that there's another one just about a quarter of a mile, half a mile off. There's another group of them outside of rifle range and such, but you can see them. They're kind of trailing the herd at this point. You didn't necessarily see that at first, but now that's what they were kind of firing at. And you're not sure when they come up and they're like, "Oh, Mr. Oz, man, they're following us, man. There's a couple of them right back there just kind of staring us down."
You fire that gun again, I'm going to drop you dead right where you are. We want to make it out of this alive. We need to not provoke them in any way. And I know you heard the speech about that.
Well, we weren't
following us or not. We're in their land. And you just shooting willy-nilly, even if you ain't shooting at them, is still an act of provocation.
See, they kind of... yes, sir, Mr. I. Yes, sir.
I'm telling you both. And I'll do it too, and you know I will.
And you hear Ladora, like she's like kind of playing around with a knife. Yeah, like you did to Dakota, huh? She's got twirling the knife around in her hand.
I didn't do that to Dakota, but I'll sure as hell do it to you.
You can certainly try. She's sort of spinning the knife around a bit. You can certainly try.
Are you trying to get dead right now?
Well, better men than you have tried.
I shoot her.
Oh gosh, John.
Roll attack. He's taking out all the NPCs tonight.
We don't need them.
We don't need them at all. Screw them.
Oh my god.
I only got to beat 4, and I did, but I got a shitload of bennies.
Yeah, go
so
for
I'm
it.
going to re-roll that. Nope,
Are
still
you shooting?
5.
Are you shooting just normal? Or are you like calling for? Are you trying to shoot her like?
I'm just
you're just shooting.
taking a shot right at her.
All right. Well, I mean, it hits, so roll your damage.
I gotta remember how to do damage on this.
Yeah.
Good
Oh dear.
gracious. I've the enforcer.
All right, 2d6 plus 1. Oh, that's a 6.
All
Oh my
right.
gosh.
That's only 3. 9.
Okay.
No, that's not right. 10.
10.
10.
That is enough to kill her.
Oh my gosh.
It's a toughness of 6. So, Ives, describe how you take out Ladora.
Right between
Oh
her
my
eyes.
Oh god.
So she's just like, she's just got a spinner. Better men have tried, and just like lightning, gun goes off. You hear the bullet, and like she's just still kind of twirling, and then the knife just falls, and then she just slides off the horse and slams to the ground.
I'll ride over and grab the reins of her horse and start heading back to the front.
And you can see Blue Jay's like, you just killed her. You just killed her right there.
I told you I would.
She was just fooling. She talks like that. That's what. Okay.
Well, she learned her lesson the hard way.
She ain't
Keep
learned
riding
nothing.
off.
We're just gonna leave her like that. And then you hear just him kind of calling out as you ride away at that point. And a few others that were riding also in the back kind of start sweeping over as well, kind of taking care of it. Rest of you hear the gunfire go off. And then you also hear some shouts coming from out front. So you hear gunfire coming back from where Ives just went. And then you hear shouts, like people calling out. And like almost like sort of like a chain reaction. The herd almost seems to be sort of slowing at this point. What do y'all want to do? What are the rest of you doing while Ives is taking care of that?
The hell? And then Eustace will ride forward.
Okay. Eustace goes up, checks out what the shout's about. What about the rest? What about Cuspid and Tabo?
My knee-jerk reaction was to head back towards where Ives was.
Yeah. Okay.
Agreed. Yeah, the gunshots where Ives just went is where Anna would go.
All right, so Cuspid, Anna, you start heading back, and you see Ives trotting up towards you. He's got his horse. He's got another horse. You're not sure whose. He got the reins of it in his hand. He's just kind of taking the two horses with him. And you hear like a couple shouts of folks from behind, but he's just sauntering up on his horses towards you.
Hey,
Are you whole, Mr. Ives, or do you need any patching?
no, I'm whole. That lady with the knife was kicking up more trouble.
Trouble that warranted a shooting?
No, I think so.
And she'll just sort of look at Cuspid and kind of shake her head and just say, I suppose if we end up having to have a conversation with those folks, we could tell them that I don't even know what to do with that, Ives. I don't even know what to do with that.
Yeah, now that my fingers cooled off, I'm thinking it may not have been the best decision, but at the time it was the best decision to make with the information that I had. And that was the two of them back there were firing shots at the ones that were tracking us down. They knew the rules, no causing trouble. I asked them both to stop strongly, and she refused and was challenging me on it. I warned her. She refused. I shot her. I'd rather take her out now than risk her getting all of us killed.
Well, we all have those days.
That's true.
Probably best not to leave the body there. I don't know that would be taken quite kindly.
Yeah.
I'll take
might
care
not.
of it.
You want the horse to haul it back?
I can take the horse if you want.
All right. Yeah, I suppose I ought to go tell the boss man what happened. Better he hears it from me than someone else.
I would agree.
And Anna's loyalty would kick in at that point and just be like, well, she should have listened to you. And if she'd have listened to you, everything would have been fine.
Well, I appreciate that.
Speaking of the boss man, Eustace, you see him. He and Luke, as you get towards the front, are currently trying to help what looks like a couple of their hands who seems to have fallen into this kind of pit. It looks like quicksand of some kind. You see all sorts of gangly horse legs thrashing around inside of this pit that's probably about, I don't know, good 15 feet across. It's just this kind of sludge of sort of mud and dirt at first. If you didn't see the weird kind of horse legs sticking up out of it, but it's not just the horse legs. It's also, it looks like there's people who are like kind of stuck in it. The riders of these horses, and there's people are kind of trying as best they can to keep the cows clear. Some of the steer are just getting nice and close to it, look like they're about to fall in. Others are kind of throwing in ropes and trying to pull people out, and like others kind of shouting down, like hey, grab the rope. And it looks like they're struggling right now, and like you can see Luke and Bill are kind of calling out, "Hey, we need help up here! We need help sinking sand!" What do you do, Eustace?
All right, how close are they to the rope that they've tossed down there?
You can tell that like whoever fell in, I mean, if you had to kind of guess on it, like they were probably on their horse, and you don't even like you see just a hand kind of up, but their head is submerged, and they are sinking mighty quick. Like as you're just kind of.
Oh hell! So Eustace will bring the rope up, tie it around his waist, and jump in.
Okay, you tie it up. I'm assuming you're tying it to like a horse or something. The other end to a horse.
Oh, I thought the other end was tied to something already.
Oh yeah, like other people were kind of holding it, like they were.
Yeah,
ready to pull. Okay.
He's like, "Hold on tight."
Okay, roll a strength roll. Actually, roll strength. Actually, you can roll athletics too, since you're diving in.
Strength is better.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thanks, Norse Foundry Dice. That's 13.
Oh my gosh. Okay, with a raise. All right. So there's like as you just run up, you just grab the line. Like Luke's like there, he's like pulling it back in, throwing it back out. It's like, grab the line, man, not to your left, your other left. And there's no way that guy could hear it as he's like submerged beneath this sand. You just yank it right out of Luke's hand. You wrap it around your waist tight and just dive in. Like, and it all happens in a split second. And you just hear like, "You crazy son of a," and you just dive down in there and you're swimming around, and like you feel like there's like a horse thrashing around down here that's kind of sinking, and you even feel the pull, something fierce. You're reaching around, and you just kind of, you can feel the current is just taking you under and under, and you're starting to struggle to breathe, and you're like, "No, that's a horse. You're not sure what the hell that is. That might be something else, some other previous victim." Then you hear somebody else you kind of feel somebody else thrash around. You feel a hand, and you just grab the hand as best you can, reach back, tug on the rope a bit, and all of a sudden you just feel yourself getting pulled against the current. You come popping on out. You've got what looks like the hand in, the hand in yours, like covered. Your eyes are just like kind of completely like pasted over with this mud, and you can see that as you come out, you got the hand of Smokes, that kind of rail thin yellow teeth fella, kind of taking a friendship a little bit with Cuspid. You can see he's got all that yellowing on his face and stuff. Does all the smoking, and it looks like kind of messes with fire. You kind of pull him on out, and he takes. He kind of turns over to you. "Well,
Any more, you?
Well, just my horse, but we got plenty of those. I wouldn't worry too much about it. It was getting old anyway." He kind of just like spits, and this big wad of like half mucus, half sand goes flying through the air and lands in the ground. "Boy, you are a sight for sore eyes, you are. Put her here."
He shakes his hand and says, "You're the first that's ever said that to me."
"Well, I find that hard to believe, son." Kind of just pats you. "You're like my guardian angel. I saw my life flashing before my eyes down there, and, well, it was actually a pretty good adventure. Kind of enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm a real rapscallion, it seems like, and, yeah, I'm pretty happy with what I done, but I got a few more legs left in me, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You're downright here. What they say about you is true, you know. You leap before you think. Nothing wrong with that."
Thanks.
"No, it's me you should be thanking you, but all right. I'll buy you a drink later."
All right. Well,
Okay.
I mean, that sounds like a step in the right direction.
All right. So they do their best to try to get like the horse that had fallen in out of there, but it's just gone. It's just too heavy and sinking. It's just no way. But you got smokes out of there. Sun's coming down at this point, and we can see that Ives comes trucking up, and people start cordoning off this this quicksand area, and Bill just kind of calls the herd stop for the night. And that's when Ives, you come up. Maybe you've passed the horse off to like Francesca or Abby by the remuda, but you come up, everyone's kind of a little bit on edge. There's kind of some excitement. There's a lot of a lot of good feelings right now. Man was just saved. Eustace was kind of getting heralded as a hero, and you come trotting up. What do you do?
I called boss man over to talk on in private.
Okay. Yeah, what do you got there, Ives?
That lady with the knife. I don't forget her name.
Leodora. Yeah.
Yeah, Leodora's dead.
More sand in the back we missed?
Nah, I shot her.
I'm gonna need a little bit more context, if you don't mind there, Mr.
Yeah.
Ives.
Yeah, that's fair. So we were riding. I heard gunfire from the back of the herd, and it was Leodora, and I forget the other guy's name.
That was Blue Jay Goodman.
Blue Jay Goodman. And, we're getting followed by the thing you warned us about.
They in the back, too?
Yeah, they're behind us. They're following us quarter of a mile.
All right.
But they're keeping their distance. And they weren't shooting at them, but they were certainly shooting in a way to try and scare them.
God damn them green.
And I
he just
done warned them.
spits.
Yeah, I done warned them. I told them the danger of it. And I told them that if they kept that shooting up, I was going to put them down. Well, Blue Jay,
Shooting.
he listened good.
Okay.
But Leodora, not only did she get real mouthy about it, but she was threatening violence on me. It's fair, though. I threatened violence on her first, so I ain't mad at her about that. But just the way she was talking and the attitude she done had about it, I could tell the message didn't sink in. So I made a call. I think it might be the wrong one, but I still made it.
She
The
used to
well-being.
Did she have a gun in her hand? Was this on the up?
Well, she had a gun. She was firing. At the time when she was threatening me, she had that knife out.
Oh man.
Yeah. Anna was going to go take care of the body.
Yeah.
But,
we'll
I
dig
made a
grave.
call. Yeah.
You did.
I figured they keep it up. They was going to be putting all of us, herd, like you said, everyone in this region in danger. So,
Well, I guess your intentions were good, but maybe you jumped the gun a little bit on it.
yeah,
And
that's fair.
there's already been a few questions as to your character. Now,
Yeah.
not by me, of course. You've done more than enough for the herd, but
I think she was, what really sealed the deal with her was she was giving me a hard time about my friend there got bit by that snake.
yeah, Dakota was a bit of a tragedy, that's for sure. But
It was. He didn't
happens.
deserve that.
no, the poison did run something quick, but
It was a big old snake. I didn't even have time to shoot it. I was on him trying to get him up.
yeah. Well, I will try to see this as a. I gotta tell you, it's. We'll see how this plays out. I'm gonna have a talk with Mr. Goodman there and see if we can get a lid on this story a bit, make it a bit palatable for the others.
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you what.
You might want
I'll
to keep an eye out for.
Yeah. Keep my eye out and I'll lay low for a while.
And maybe let's, if we're going to go shooting, maybe we shoot kneecaps out and something that Cuspid can fix.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, let's just hope this don't happen again, but Maybe
No intention.
Maybe let Cuspid around and take care of some of the wackadoos if they're acting up. How about that for now?
I got you.
I'm gonna have to have a talk with Luke about this as well. He ain't gonna like it. He is not
No,
y'all's biggest fans, of course.
he is not. And I didn't give any more reason today to change his opinion.
I am gonna take you at your word, Mr. Ives, that she was endangering some folk, and maybe you got a little overzealous with how you launched some lessons. But I'll say this, we can't have any infighting no more. We can't have people. That's just the way of the drive. People get hard feelings towards one another. We get on each other's nerves a bit, and that's all fine and good. But let's take it to fisticuffs, not to flying bullets or nothing.
You got it.
And if this does turn the morale of the drive southward, well, Mr. Eyes, I'm afraid there might be a time where we're going to have to part ways.
I understand, and yeah, I understand and respect that. You just let me know what you need me to do, and I'll do it. No trouble from me on this.
You just camp out. Camp out on your own a bit. Stay away, and we'll see if we can keep things settled a bit. That's all. All right?
Yep, you got it.
All right. Kind of goes back, and y'all, settle in for the night, kind of do your thing. Ives, you kind of make camp a little bit further away from the chuck wagon than you might usually do. Cuspid, Anna, you kind of do your usual routines at night. Cuspid. Let's see if I do this. Checking my notes here. Cuspid. Well, actually, before that happens, Bill will kind of go around, and you'll see him start talking around to people what happened, some misunderstandings, and that this is what happens when people don't listen. I already told you. Sue, they're going to tail us, all right? They're going to keep us honest. They're going to keep us moving. Some of the younger ones, they might even slip in at night and count coup or take a horse or a steer or toll for the crossing. If you see them, go ahead, get in their way, curse at them something fierce, but for God's sake, do not attack them, and don't be shooting nothing, whether you think you're scaring them off or whether you think you're shooting for real. We're on their land. And second, there's a whole lot more of them out here than there are of us. Wherever many you see tailing us or off in the hills over there, there's a dozen villages with just a few hours away, and they can get reinforcements here, something fierce. And so we don't want none of that. So everyone, keep your damn heads cooler than they've been past day or so. I don't want none of that kind of stuff going on. We're one team, one drive. Get some damn grub and get some rest. Long day tomorrow. We're gonna hustle.
Hey, you want me to talk to them for you?
Talk to who?
Them folks is right behind us.
Eustace, I tell you, you
I
are.
could just tell them we're coming through and we ain't meaning to settle or nothing.
You ain't gonna get within 50 feet of them before they fill you so much full of arrows that you're gonna think you can fly off into the sunset.
How am I gonna do that if I got all the arrows in me?
If you got what?
If I got all the arrows in me.
'Cause there's feathers? Is a joke?
That's funny. That
Yeah.
you know how to tell them. That's why you're a comedian.
No, I ain't. Ain't nothing funny about what went down today.
Then why are you joking?
Grab some grub.
All right.
Get some rest. Push on in the morning.
I have a quick question. How long
go
has
for
it
it.
been since the incident with the automaton?
Several days. At any point, Cuspid could have done some heals on you. I don't see why he couldn't have done that. Plenty of time.
Yeah, because I can do a regular medicine check within the hour, but after that, healing, those creepy denture things, I
Can
can.
take care of the rest of it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Good deal. Just wanted to make sure.
All right. So Cuspid, you're doing your usual thing at night, whatever it is that you do, when suddenly your mind is overwhelmed once more by the sudden and incessant chattering of teeth. It just doesn't go away. Poke outside your tent, you see a handful of folks moving back or forth, moving around the tents here and there. A couple of them wave at you, and you can see their lips say, "Hey, not Dr. Cuspid," but all you hear them come out of that mouth over and over and over again. It's just driving you just crazy. Crazy. What do they interrupt you doing?
Well, it's funny. I heard somebody mention a coup stick earlier, counting coup. Actually, I had it in my mind to take a stick, wrap some wolf hide around it, because usually a coup stick is nothing more than a nice fancy stick. You wrap some hides around one end, and then some sort of trinkets, whether the glass beads or something of that nature. But he was actually thinking of making some sort of offering to leave to kind of show some token of understanding. Get some wolf hides on one end and one of each of the different types. So maybe a Tommyknocker tooth, a wolf tooth, all the different various things we've come across, and try to make some sort of personalized coup stick.
Okay, so that's what you're doing when this happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like this crazy sound starts happening. Do you do anything in response?
Well, I've been experimenting with some of the power source that I had there, and I will hook those dentures up to the wires, and you can talk. I know you can talk. So knock it off. You prefer to say, you say it productively. Just get out of my damn head. And I will. I'll try and hook them up to the machine to see if we can begin a discourse.
Roll a weird science test.
Mhm.
This is a good idea.
Great idea.
Seven.
Okay. You hook it up. You hear the clattering of the teeth fade momentarily. And you hear this kind of crackly, almost like filtered voice. You can hear it popping. And it's just like this one long drawled word. And it just says, danger. And then the clattering kicks back in.
Well, I'm going to do my best to maintain some semblance of countenance, walk through camp smiling and nodding at those who are smiling at me, pretending that I understand what they're saying. I'll probably find Ives.
Okay. You head out to Ives. Okay. And Ives, roll. Actually, don't worry about it, because he went to you first. Don't worry about it. You don't roll anything. Because when you get out and you find Ives, he kind of was camping off by himself. And when you get there, make a notice test or a healing test.
Oh, okay. Healing's a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah, let me do that.
Did I get you before, Chuck? I saw you kind of like...
I have me looking for which tab wasn't muted.
Oh, man. How'd you do?
6.
Okay. You notice that Ives's head, his face, is beet red purple, like he's suffocating. He's asleep. You don't see him awake, but his whole face is just like swollen, purplish red, and it just looks like he's not. It's like he's choking.
Well, I will quickly look to see if there are any signs of poison or anything of that nature and look him over.
Mm-hmm. With your healing tests, you take a quick look. You kind of get down, and you don't see anything, but you get down there, and you can see his body is kind of starting to shake. He's certainly asleep. and doesn't seem to be waking, despite the fact that his body is kind of shaking, like with this intense reaction to not having any oxygen. You check his mouth. There's nothing inside. No blockage. There's nothing that's gone inside whatsoever.
Well, I suppose the first course before I go cutting into the man would be just to energize him, as we might say, as I'll break out the what we call the taser, so to speak.
Yeah.
Get a couple of teeth loaded in so they can shoot out and inject themselves into him and light him up.
Yeah, sure. It's a pretty simple, weird science. Shoot him in, and Ives, you wake up. And you can see immediately, you feel like you haven't breathed in who knows how long. You just...
Yeah.
As you just suck all the oxygen in the area. Yeah.
Doctor, what the hell?
And Mr. Ives, I'm a bit embarrassed, but I need to admit to you, I see your mouth moving, but I can't understand the words you're saying. I just heard a whisper of danger whenever the teeth weren't rattling, and so I came to you and I got you up. I would like for you not to share this with anybody, but sometimes... Are you okay?
I'll nod, yes.
Okay.
I'll give you a pat on the arm then, since you said you can't understand me.
Okay. I can't sleep, Mr. Ives.
I'll give him a nod. Since I'm camping out there, I probably got a small fire or something. Give you a motion to have a seat. Start getting some water going. Get a little bit of coffee boiled.
Can I confess something to you, Mr. Ives?
I'll give you a nod.
I took those dentures from that house, and they've been haunting me something fierce ever since I did.
A little laugh. Like, oh, I ain't surprised. Of course, you can't understand me right now. I ain't surprised. I don't blame you either. You do what you do. No judgment here. We're all monsters around this fire. But I'll nod. I'll, Can I see him?
He whispered danger just before I came out and saw you like that.
I'll grab him, give him a look over.
You grab them. They're in your hand.
Yeah.
You take a look at them, and they immediately start going off. And you can hear them.
See them.
You can hear it, yeah.
This is what you hear all the time.
Do you hear them too?
I'm hearing it.
And then as the rattling comes to a stop, you see that remember, these are like lacquered, beautiful wooden teeth. You see the mouth just move in this. There should be gums, but there aren't. So it's weird whenever you see like a skeleton try to talk. But the mouth suddenly moves, and you hear like a whisper coming out from it. Danger.
I'll immediately kick a clear spot in the dirt. And just with my finger, I'll just write out the word danger. And I'll point at it. It said danger. It ain't you going mad. It's these teeth.
Ooh, I thought I was going crazy for a little while.
No. It's these. I'll write out in the dirt. What do we do?
Okay.
I think we should take a look around.
Yeah. I'll hand you the teeth
Well,
back.
you can hear me just fine. Why am I hand motioning to you?
I ain't going to judge you for it. I mean, it's an easy thing to do.
I'm really glad that you're so understanding, Mr. Ives.
Well, we all can use an understanding friend every now and then. Of course, you still can't understand me, so I'll just give you a thumbs up. All right. I'll get my boots on, get my pistols ready.
Okay. Both of you roll notice tests
All right.
as you start
So
looking around.
glad I'm not scared of the dark anymore.
Mhm.
All right. So that's 2d6 plus 2. Oh, look at you. Ooh, that's a 6.
It's just
11,
like Ashley rolling all of a sudden.
13.
Ash was like on Saturday. She's like, I got a Gandalf. I got another Gandalf. I hope she's still in chat. She's kidding. Oh, I got like 17 sixes. She like texted me a picture of her roll just like it really happened. I'm not lying.
You know,
So
Melissa's
funny.
been teaching me how to play board games here recently.
Oh gosh, I've been in that position. Whew. All right.
Yeah, 13.
Thank you,
6.
Adam. Perfect timing. Okay. So you all I'm gonna give you both two different things. Ives, you get something different because of a raise. Cuspid,
All right.
you notice that over as you're kind of skirting around and weaving in between the different like camps and things like that, everyone's kind of spread out. You notice movement in the shadows over by the Remuda where all those different horses are, where Abby and Francesca are the ones that are kind of in charge of that. And you see that one of the horses is free. But as you watch, it's not just free. There's one of those Sioux warriors has kind of grabbed the reins and is just quietly sneaking off into the darkness with one of these horses. Ives.
Yeah.
You notice as you're kind of moving and you see sort of the same thing, but then something else catches your attention.
Okay.
As you look over towards the fire where Anna and Eustace are camping by, and you see the two of them with the firelight casting on their faces, thrashing around in their sleep, and their faces and their heads are just big, bright, dark purple, like they're on the verge of suffocating.
All right. I'll immediately grab Dr. Cuspid and I'll point you down hard at one of the people who are suffocating. Yeah, and I'll kind of also real quickly like point out all the other ones. And then after that, I am dead sprinting at that horse, holstering my guns.
Okay. So, Ives, you go up. Or not Ives, Cuspid, you go up, you shock both Eustace and Anna, and the same reaction that Ives had. They burst up like they've been underwater for days, and like they're just catching air for the first time. Both Eustace and Anna roll vigor tests as well. Since you weren't the first one that Cuspid came to. And let me know how you do. Ives, you go... Okay, so since you took a moment to kind of direct, you go running off in the darkness. Roll a survival test at -2.
Yeah.
See if you can figure out which way this guy went.
All right.
9 on the vigor test.
Damn.
Okay. 10. All right, both of you are okay. Like you're fine. No lingering issues. It takes a good 2-3 minutes for you to kind of get back into like a rhythm of your breathing. Your heartbeats are going kind of quite fast. But eventually you kind of calm and you feel like you've been breathing quite right. You also both feel kind of a soreness around your necks. How'd you do, Ives?
Well, the first time I got a 1 and a -1. So I bennied that and I got a 13.
Okay. You see that this guy who took the horse, he kind of led it by the bridle a good 50 feet or so away from where all the other horses were, and you see that he's currently now climbing on top of it. He's kind of knocked the saddle off onto the side. He's just climbing on top of it bareback. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna sprint up and try and tackle him right off the top of that horse.
Athletics test. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Ooh, Won't be any of that.
Okay. It's gonna be contested by that. That's why I rolled.
Okay. All right, 4.
All right, I rolled a 6.
Yeah.
So you come up, you definitely throw yourself, but he gets up onto the horse itself, and so when you grab him, you're kind of half grabbing the horse,
Yeah.
and the horse is able to kind of just sort of makes the horse shimmy just ever so slightly and knocks you off to the side. You go stumbling to the ground. He looks down at you, and you can see this like big, bright smile just kind of come over his face. And then he just kind of kicks the horse into gear and starts riding off. What do you want to do?
Do I recognize the horse?
No, it's just one of the stock horses.
I ain't going after him, not in the dark.
Okay. All right. Meanwhile, Cuspid, Eustace, Anna, what's going on by you all?
What is going on?
This is going to. Do I still hear just teeth?
I'll tell you what. Roll a spirit test.
Okay. So I have an idea, but depending upon how things are going, it might be hard to communicate. 6.
Okay, and once you get the two of them up, once you get the second person up, and you can tell that they're breathing, it fades.
The hell you got going on there, you?
That's the first thing you hear.
It's been a strange night. And I'm about to ask you a strange question, but I'm trying to think in my mind.
Couldn't I wait till morning?
No, I do not think it can.
Oh.
My mind is grasping at common threads. Do either of you know where those dolls are from that house?
Oh, you mean this one?
And Anna will pull.
You both go into your things, and they're not there.
It was too strange for this to be so similar between all of us.
Oh.
Somebody is using those.
Oh, this ain't that one. This is a different one.
When would we have been so careless as to leave our bags unattended?
I don't think it's a matter of you being careless.
Well, what is it?
I think somebody is playing, experimenting.
Well, is they playing or is they experiment?
Is that why I feel like I haven't had a good breath in a week?
Mayhaps. I don't want to jump to conclusions and say it's Timmy, but my gut says it's Timmy.
Well, that seems relatively easy to solve. We are 3 of us.
Hey, wait a minute.
Full grown.
Come think of it. Oh, hell. I haven't seen him for a spell.
Well, there aren't too many people who know about them, so we should start with that upon those who have seen them or who we've talked about them with, because it may not be him, but I have suspicions he will be of a mindset to, well, for a certain mind, play and experimentation can be the same.
Yeah, I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. So, Eustace goes off to find where Timmy normally sleeps.
Yeah, and you know that he sleeps. He's been sleeping lately close to Reverend Archer. Like Reverend Archer's has kind of turned into like the tutor, whatever, for the boys. So both Franklin and Timmy are kind of nearby. You can also see that like Penelope and T-Bone and those like special cows that like Franklin was found with initially. They're kind of nearby as well, kind of tethered up to the wagon. And both of the boys are there sleeping. Fire nearby. You can see the Reverend Archer is kind of laying in the back of his wagon, sleeping as well. You hear like this ridiculously loud, like sawing through wood type of snore. But yeah, both boys look to be asleep.
I'll like gently nudge Timmy.
He's like, "Hey there,
Look,
Mr. Ellsworth.
wake
Is
up,
there
boy.
a problem?" Yes,
Nope.
sir.
No
Yes, sir.
problem. Just gotta
We under
ask
attack?
you. Not yet, anyway.
Okay.
Come on, I want to show you something.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I want to ask you something. Come on.
I'm coming. Can I get my boots on? He's like kind of trying to put his shoes on really quick.
Yep.
All right. I'm coming. What's up?
All right. So he leads Timmy kind of away, so that it's not within earshot of everyone, back towards Dr. Cuspid and Anna. Hey, remember that doll I was carrying around? Looked kind of like me.
Oh, yeah, I remember it.
You ain't come across it lately, have you?
No, did you lose it?
Yep.
I mean, well, that's a shame. I mean, I can help you look for it.
You seen hers? Let's see, motions over towards Anna.
I ain't seen any of them.
No, none of them. Huh? All right. Okay. Well, they wasn't missing.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, that's a darn shame. They had a spitting likeness to you.
Yep, they sure did. Now, let's see. They got us in trouble before. You were there when that happened, right?
Well, yeah, I heard some stories and seen some things, yeah.
Yeah, so. You remember who else was there?
Well, I can't. Well, I mean, Franklin and I, we were kind of poking around that house a bit. But he ain't take them. I tried to get him to do things. He's too Mr. Goody Two Shoes over there. Now it's even worse since the Reverend showed up. Now I can't even swear, and he just threatens to tell on me all the time.
Well, fuck.
I keep telling him stitches. Well, they get stitches. But...
and buried in ditches.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good one, Mr. Dr. Cuspid. That's a good one. I'm going to tell him that one, too.
Can Anna try to sneak away, like, after she was kind of referenced? Can she try to, like, sneak off once Dr. Cuspid is kind of in this conversation, too?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, if you're trying to steal that because you don't want the kid to see it, yeah, just roll stealth.
All right. 36.
All right, you think Timmy, since he's such a goody two-shoes, he'd be wanting to play with them dolls?
Well, I'm Timmy. I don't think I'm good at two-shoes. I think I'm just the
it.
right amount of good and the right amount of mischief.
I meant the other one.
Franklin? Nah, I don't think he'd do nothing like that. He loves his cows, and he loves the good book, and that's about it.
You know, I have a follow-up.
What'd you say?
I rolled a 10 on the stealth.
Okay, yeah, you get off. No problem.
Okay. I would like to look through their stuff.
Okay, yeah. You go searching through and roll. I mean, I guess roll a notice test.
Okay. I did spend a penny on that because I rolled poorly the first time. Notice. It's D4. Switch that out. 5.
Yeah, you find some strange things in his belongings.
Yeah, this is not going to be her favorite thing.
What you think might be pieces of people and other various biological finds, weapons, many knives of different kinds, but you do not find your dolls. No.
And I would check Franklin's stuff too.
Yeah, we'll carry that over to nothing there, but you don't find anything strange in his. It's just kind of the usual stuff. Yeah.
I just want to make sure Timmy wouldn't like hide it in Franklin's because, nobody would think to look in Franklin's stuff.
Sure. Sure. Man, you guys really think he's just devious. He is, but yeah.
You know, Timmy, I've noticed you keep a sharp eye on things, and I'm going to ask you a strange question, but there's a reason for it.
Okay.
Have you seen any animals about that just seem out of place?
Well, I saw a snake. I smashed something good after what Mr. I said happened to Dakota. So I don't know if it was a rattler, but I just figured not to take any chances. So I smashed something fierce with a rock. and saw some birds, but they, pretty usual and everything. One of them just crapped right on top of Reverend Archer's wagon, and it got all over his gin bottle. Oh man, me and Franklin, we hoot and hollered on that one for a while. Some coyotes and such, we threw some rocks at them, kind of got them to go away, but they were barking all something weird. But are those weird? I don't know. Those we've been seeing them all the time, I think, so.
I suppose that seems in place, but there's a part of me that's Eustace, you might check where you normally kept it at. There's a part of me that's just wondering if you see any tiny little claw marks or anything of that nature. We had our other friend that could change.
What do you mean change?
So I'll check in the saddlebag on Aloysius.
Yeah, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary. Like no signs of, there's wear and tear on it for sure, but nothing that suggests it was like broken open or anything like that, or torn open or.
Then I'll check my inside coat pocket.
Same deal. Kind of probably need to get someone to stitch this up. Looks like the pocket's kind of running clean, like stuff's gonna start falling out of it. But
no, but it's only got one hole, right? The one I've had
it's got
for a
the
while.
one, but that one's getting kind of big. But no, you don't. Yeah, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
No, now unless he was a seamstress as well as a dentist, I don't think he can help me out with that. And I don't think no claws is going to cause this. Otherwise, it'd be worse. You see, as I poke my finger through the hole, I lift open my.
Well, I got lucky on my first guess, it would seem. I'm now just pulling at straws. Oh, and I'll just candidly tell Timmy about Tosair. And you remember the Comanche raid and the one who'd gotten them all riled up? Well, he can just change into different animals and makes him terribly difficult to deal with.
He can do what?
Yeah, we suspect he turned into a coyote. I nearly killed him once, but he turned into a bird and flew away.
Well, I seen coyotes and birds. You think he's here?
Well, I don't know, but he seems the sort that would observe and do something like this, but
well,
I don't really know.
If I see him, I'll cut him up something fierce. I will. Yes, I will, sir. I've been getting tons of training from Mr. Ellsworth here how to fight with my hands and everything, so I can take him. I can wrestle you. I'll show you. You won't. I can do it. And he kind of gets this like wrestling stance and such.
Yeah,
I'm learning all sorts of really useful things from y'all.
Well, that is a good thing to hear.
Just sucking it all up like a sponge.
Anna's going to come walking up at this point and just be like, now, Timmy, this doesn't mean to just go killing every coyote and bird that you see, because it might be Tosair. Like, if we need your assistance on that, we can let you know. But most of the birds are just birds. And most of the coyotes are just coyotes.
If I kill one of them coyotes and I cut them open, they gonna have like people parts inside, or they gonna have like coyote parts inside?
Well, if you see one that doesn't look like an ordinary person, here's what you do. You go running through the settlement just shouting, hooty hooty hoo.
Okay. Hooty hooty hoo. Like that?
Oh, where?
Oh, I'm just playing. I'm just doing what you said and doing. I don't see nothing now.
Well, no, you see, I said to do that if you see something.
Oh, did you see something then? What do you do?
Okay, all right, fair point and well made.
I got you.
You did. Got me while getting's good, and good on you.
Well, I'll make sure to keep a nice close eye out, and if I see anything suspicious happen, well, don't worry. I'll take care of it for you. You all been so kind, just showing me things and such. I never thought I'd have, like, aunts and uncles and such, because my family all died and everything. So it's just kind of nice to know that I got y'all looking out for me and such, and making sure I'm on the straight and narrow. Praise Jesus. And he gives you a smile, which you know is not even remotely genuine.
Well, you know what? There is some fairness in that. I'm sorry to hear about the difficulties you've passed, and every child does deserve to know their love. So we appreciate having you, Tenny. Not for Jesus, but for me. I'm really glad you're here.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Cuspid. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Can I go back to sleep now?
Of course.
Yeah,
unless you want me to shock you too.
Maybe. What does
Now,
it feel like?
It feels fantastic.
Well, then I want you to shock me then.
You earned it.
He falls over, starts shivering, and then you see, like, after a moment, he gets up. Again! Again! Oh. And he heads back, gets back into his bedroll, and heads back to sleep. New ideas now going through his mind. What do y'all want to do?
You're ruining that job. Oh my god.
I'll catch back up with everyone and let them know that one of the horses got taken.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah.
Ask one of you to be the ones that turn that information in. I don't want to go that far into camp tonight.
All right. You having trouble sleeping?
Nah, boss man, I came to a conclusion that I should lay low for a little while.
Oh,
There's
all right.
enough people talking about how that boy died under my care, and then, me shooting that lady.
All right. Well, you had something to eat lately?
No, not since breakfast.
Now, you should get something to eat, because when your mind is full and your stomach is empty, it's always hard to sleep.
That's good to keep in mind.
I can stay with you, and maybe we might want to keep an eye on the perimeter.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
All right, I can ride with you.
All right. So everyone either heads back or they go out to start kind of keeping an eye on, since you're up already. It's midway through the night. We'll go ahead and we'll push forward to morning. You pass the word about the horse that was taken, and you hear that wasn't the only thing that was taken last night. As by count, as of breakfast, looks like there were about seven animals were taken. Most of them, however, were just cows. And it sounds like 2 horses were taken at some point throughout the night, one being the one that Ives saw. Bill doesn't seem to be too upset about it. He just he says, well, it's just a toll. No one got hurt. No one got shot at. No one got stabbed. We got more than enough cows, and we got plenty of horses. Though that's the third we've lost in a couple days now, so we might want to be just a touch more careful with those. Maybe lock them up a little bit more at night. But what habit here? Everything seems to be all right. So we're gonna push on, pick up the pace a bit, see if we can get on out of here before anything else happens that's a bit strange or dangerous or whatnot. And like, he's not even through the sentence when you guys hear from like up towards the front of the herd, you hear someone kind of shouting back, like submarine style, like, boss man, got a problem up here. And he's like, man, why do I even get up in the morning? You know, I just get it, just problem after problem, man. This is my last drive, I swear. I can't do this no more. And you see, he climbs up on top of his horse, and he's like, well, y'all might want to come too, I guess. Let's go see what the hell else is going on.
Yeah.
One thing,
Tag
the other.
along.
All right.
Go.
So you guys start riding forward, out in front of the herd a bit. Start going up over top of this hill where you kind of see a couple of the folks are kind of pointing. You see a few folks you pass along the way. They got kind of concerned looks on their faces. They're nervous. You get kind of a distance between yourselves and the cattle, and so it's like whoever's riding point is out in front. And so you get on up, you come over this crest, and you're starting to see, first of all, like Bill's kind of telling you, like, well, here's the Oregon Trail right there. You can kind of see it. We'll see more of it as we get over top here, and it's just wide open prairie. You see these deeply rutted wagon and wheel tracks in the mud and the earth, and it's not the most inspiring thing in the world. But what is kind of awe-inspiring is as you crest over top of the hill, you see an extraordinarily large contingent of Sioux, as there's well over 100, maybe 200 of them, all horseback, all right over top of that hill. They're split in two groups. One of them is on one side of those wheel and wagon and rut tracks, and one's on the other. So you got this wide kind of boulevard of like previous wagon tracks and stuff that have gone through here, and these huge groups of Sioux warriors all on horseback on either side. And you hear Bill just mutter, God damn it.
Yeah. Well, it's our play.
I mean, there's almost nothing to do but walk with purpose and pretend like we belong here.
Well, and I think talking seems like a best option because we are far outnumbered and trespassers, as it were.
You hear Luke nearby who kind of comes sidling up. Well, Miss Anna, every time we get within 50 feet, they either start backing up or you see some of them start to brandish something. I don't reckon they want to talk to us. They want something from us, I think, but I think they want us to go that way. I think they're the ones herding us, not the other way around. The herders are getting herded, something like that. There's a clever line in there somewhere, but I didn't quite nail it. Give me about 4 or 5 more tries, maybe I'll get it. I haven't had my coffee yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do what you think they're wanting us to do and alternate our path?
Well, I mean, we're going in this sort of direction anyway. I got to head west. I guess maybe this is just the way they want us to go. Maybe that's how they want folks passing through their land. Maybe. They outnumber us. Hella number. They want to hurt us. They could have done so by now, I think.
It is their land, after all.
It is.
Think we can maybe ride on back, and I understand that the methods that our friend Mr. Ives here used were not recommended, but perhaps if we do a reminder to everyone else on the drive that don't shoot anywhere near them really does mean don't do anything to provoke them, maybe we can get out of this with most of our heads of people and cattle and horses intact.
Yeah, it's a good idea, Miss Anna. Why don't you go ahead and spread that word?
Back.
All right. So, kind of spread the word, start telling everybody, and Luke and Bill kind of looks at you guys and like, well, I guess we're moving the way they want us to go. Get them going. Pass the word. Let's hustle.
All right.
I mean, I'm assuming in fairness there are none of us who would speak their language even if they were willing to talk.
Well, Luke's got himself a tongue here. More than a number of languages kind of come unfurling out of that thing, but I think until they come approaching us to talk, we might want to give them the space. If they don't want to talk to us, then we'll wait until they do.
Sounds good to me. Oh, yeah. Let's go pass word.
So yeah, pass word. Herd kind of gets up and moving. Everyone kind of fans out into their positions here and there. As it happens, like as you can see, the herd just starts funneling down this path, right? This wagon-rutted path. You can see the Sioux kind of split off, and you're now flanked by these huge groups. And if anyone goes and checks the rear, same thing behind. There's a huge pack back there as well. Who here is? I know Jack is great at like tracking and survival. Does anybody consider themselves like a good survivalist tracker type?
I'm halfway decent at it, but not in the same way that Jack is.
Go ahead and roll it. It's fine. He's not here. Yeah.
Me and my D4 will pass.
Okay.
Got a 5.
Okay. You can tell as you're going, and you're kind of pushing the herd, and you're getting kind of in these patches where the herd's not kind of trampling the ground, and you're able to kind of get a look at the ruts in the ground that they're kind of leading you down. And you kind of come to the conclusion, you don't know the exact numbers, maybe Jack would have been able to get something more precise, but you can tell that a rather sizable group of wagons, horses, and what you think are probably folks on foot seem to have passed along this section here within the last few days. These tracks are recent.
Okay.
And you're kind of like, this is like, you are not the only group that has seemed to have been kind of herded in this direction.
I ain't sure what to make of that, so I'll confer with friends here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is looking at these trail marks and whatnot, fresh droppings here and there. Some other, drive came through here maybe within a couple days, right through this same path.
Either real good or real bad.
I don't know. They could be just really good at keeping people confined to a certain place. Or could be a trap.
Maybe somebody should ride up ahead, try to get a view of where we're headed.
I can do that.
Why not?
Okay.
You
Whoever
want,
does
you want
that.
some company?
Might as well.
All right.
Use your
Whoever
hands
does
if
that.
things go sideways.
Notice test. Go for it.
All right.
Right at 4. Oh no, that's an explode. Sorry, that's a
Got a
different-
5.
Dr. Cuspid is busy checking to see if he was finished with his coup stick or not, so he fails.
Okay.
7.
9.
Nice.
Okay. Ives, Anna, Eustace, all three of you notice that well up ahead, you see what looks like an outpost. And I'll say, Ellsworth, your raise. As the three of you are kind of looking, you're maybe up on a ridge. You can see that the Sioux are still keeping distance, but you're not kind of pushing too far out ahead to make it seem like you're kind of threatening, and they don't really seem to be kind of trying to stop your advance. Ellsworth, you notice that there's smoke rising up from the walls, which suggests that the outpost is manned in some fashion. As the three of you get closer, again, Eustace, you seem to have the sharpest eyes at the moment. You notice a couple additional things. You notice, first of all, that it doesn't look to be in particularly good condition. You can tell that there are some holes in the palisade here and there. It doesn't look like there's holes in the walls. Like it's, some of the walls seem to have kind of crumbled here and there. And all three of you notice as you get a little closer that there appear to be figures visible atop the walls, but you can tell Ives, especially because of your kind of military background, they're not moving in sort of the pattern or like that you would expect of like professional soldiers.
Yeah.
So you'd kind of conclude probably that like there's a fort, there's some sort of fort up there, and whoever is occupying it probably is an actual military.
That fort's in a bad way.
It is, but you see the way them up there on patrol are moving. That ain't standard right there. That's
Ain't
the
how you supposed to
military.
do it?
No, not like that. They're leaving a lot of spots open, not even. They're not always looking in the right directions. It's not I ain't military.
Hmm. Well, it could be that the Sioux took it over, or it could be that we got some bad actors from us, and the Sioux are just making sure that we deal with each other and not take our troubles into their land any further.
If that's what it is, I think that's going to be our best case scenario, because and I don't see the Sioux taking up residence in an old fort like that. It doesn't seem quite right.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so. It doesn't seem like a real Susie thing to do.
Was there so when we were like looking at the tracks and everything, was it another drive of like cattle and wagons, or was it just like
No,
wagons?
it didn't look like you were following a herd. Like that,
Right.
the earth would have been pretty obvious.
Okay.
No, it's definitely. I would say Ives. You would probably pioneers. I mean, you're on the Oregon Trail. There's
Okay.
people on foot. There's wagons. It's probably pioneers.
You asked that, I'll relay that. Yeah.
Should we keep riding ahead?
I think we should go say hello.
Okay.
Might not hurt to raise a white flag of some sorts. If they are just pioneer and they've just come through this country and they saw that huge group out there, they may be on edge.
Could be. Miss Anna, there, it may not be a bad idea for you to play that harmonica loud and proud.
Anna's like just tickled at that
I was
usefulness of her harmonica playing.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all ride up ahead. The herd's not that far behind. You can see it cresting over top of a hill behind you. Doesn't seem like you've outpaced to the point where like the Sioux don't like it. As you get up, you notice that kind of behind the fort, you can see on the hills, you can see there's more Sioux, like kind of creating this like circle around, almost like it's surrounding at a distance, like a good mile or so, the fort itself. And when you get closer, you notice too that there's definitely gaps where like the palisade has completely fallen down, but it looks like some of those wagons have been positioned to fill the breaches. And as you get close, do you actually do the white flag thing?
Why not?
Okay. So you get close, and you hear this like creaking, and you see the gates open up, and you see this fella kind of lead out from behind the gates. And you can see there's a few others kind of coming with him. Definitely a gray-bearded guy of some age. Got this flannel shirt on, and you can tell he's got this weathered plainsman hat. This is clear pioneer's day. This is settler on the way west, or someone kind of leading them at least. And you can see a few others. They're kind of coming out. But you notice that they stop about 20 feet from you all. Which is a little odd. But then he starts talking. And he's like, "Well, hey there. Howdy, strangers. We are sure glad to see you. First bit of luck we've had in a while. Name is Rudolph Jovich, wagon master of these here folk." He kind of tips his hat, and then he kind of points out to the Sioux. Now, them fellers out there, they corralled us here a few days ago. And, well, we ain't seen anyone else since. They ain't attacked us. He harmed us nothing. Not even a faint, really. They just kind of sit over there in the distance and kind of watch us starve. Anyone who leaves, though, they just get feathered. Arrows coming out of the sky. And he kind of does this spit, and you see this chunk on the ground. Now I said we was happy to see you, but you see his face kind of curls up into a wince. But you all might not be so happy to see us. He doesn't say it threatening, like he's not like brandishing a weapon or anything like that. You see, we've had more than a few deaths even before this mess. One of the families, they lost a grandmother to consumption just outside of Laramie, and soon after we buried her, a couple folks came down with something. And, well, we got a healer, but she ain't, no expert or nothing. She says it's probably smallpox, and that's why we keeping our distance.
Well, it's a good thing you are. That'll go through quick.
And you see, like, the herd starting to get closer. And I think we'll end there, and we'll pick up on that, because we're right at time. It's a good place to end, I think, before we dive into what happens. Kind of get the gist.
Oh, boy.
Did you guys have smallpox in your bingo card for tonight? Is it going to be smallpox thing? Did you have that?
It wasn't what, not what I was guessing at.
No.
Okay. So, yeah, we'll end there. We're right at time, and that's a good place to stop. As I think next time we might even be able to finish this section next time too. Like I said, it's going a lot faster in a weird.
Nice. Just tell Matt next week, like, "Hey, Matt, welcome back. Smallpox.
You are now isolated with a bunch of people who have smallpox. So have fun. And you're completely outnumbered by just a giant army of Sioux warriors who aren't going to let you leave.
Yeah.
Scarlet Justice.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, "Can you say that I was out on a vigilante gig and I wasn't with everyone at the time?" And then it just cuts over, and then, like, we just follow him in his adventures and not you guys.
He makes it the rest of the way.
Yep. Exactly. All right. Why don't we do we do a round table and get out of here. Jeremy, tell us about this Patreon.
Yeah, Aaron Reese on Patreon. You get comics, maps, all sorts of fun stuff. Check it out.
Fantastic. Adam, what's going on with Grim and Perilous?
Grim and Perilous is just, we've got our website, we've got our channel that I think this coming Saturday is Heart. No,
Melissa's being selfish, and she's saying I have to spend time with her on her birthday, so I can't run Heart. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, everybody, but I'm really not sorry.
After the joke she dropped in Discord today, I'm kind of, I don't really care.
Maybe we'll still be doing something.
I'm available.
Yeah. So,
no, Chuck, you're married.
Back
to an Adam joke.
Yeah.
Hey.
So yeah, just check out our website. There's a sign up list. One of these days we'll have an announcement soon about an adventure that will eventually come to print, but it's not there yet. So I'll leave it there.
All right, fair enough. Chuck, we got going.
Oh my gosh. Defenders this week, Wednesday, we got Thunder Rift. And I don't know if people caught it earlier, but we're kind of approaching the end of Thunder Rift. And next up on the schedule, I'm going to be running some aliens. So pay attention to that. Friday, more Dungeon Crawl Classics, our Dead Sun campaign. And that's what we got for the week, Yeah,
fantastic. As for us, tomorrow night, actually, we're starting up a new game. Our buddy Steven is gonna he's gonna start running a game. It's gonna be another Weird West game, except we're doing Haunted West. And from Darker Hue Studios, you can catch myself and Ashley from the channel and a few other people, new faces and such, as Steven has paid me a lot of money for me to be willing to let him do this. So we'll see how this goes.
It's gonna be great.
No, it's gonna be great. But come check that out. Usual time we do our games, and we'll do some more Weird West. And then Friday, it's back to Hunter the Reckoning. So you can check us doing that. And I think are we doing One Ring still, Melissa? Are we allowed to do One Ring at least on your birthday?
We're doing One Ring.
Because you're in the game too. How very selfish. I see what you did. So we'll do One Ring on Saturday, and then next Monday we're back to Hala, another Savage World game as we switch back and forth between our two settings. But thank you to everyone who hung out tonight. Thank you to the sub from Eustace, from Adam, and I saw one from Jen with the hootie hoo before. Thank you so kindly. Thanks for all you who are watching this later on the old YouTubes. We do appreciate it. We are going to go ahead and raid our friends over at Diesel Shot. So go ahead and follow the raid when it pops up. Otherwise, have a great week. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.